morning and welcome to another podcast from me, Steve, part of the series of podcasts that we're doing for our group, BCFC, the project, Steve and Beck, that's our YouTube handle. We've also got BCFC, the project, on a Facebook group, a big group. Please subscribe to us and try and share us and like us if you can, because the more input we get through here, the more power it gives us as a group in terms of working with the club, working with fans, keeping a very positive aspect of support, but also being realistic and honest. We also usually do really well in our gaining of information for incoming transfers and stuff like that. And we have just heard yesterday, I think John O'Shea left the club. We did actually hear that on, I think it was Thursday evening. But then in Tony Mowbray's presser, he said he was looking forward to working with both of them. So we thought it was wrong, but apparently from what I hear, it was more a case of John O'Shea wanting to go than us not wanting him. I think Tony Mowbray tried to persuade him to stay along with Ashley Cole, and he decided against it in the end. So that's, obviously that's John's prerogative and fair play to him. And, I hope whatever he does is successful. Another thing that we had yesterday was an update on at the moment we're working with the club in trying to get the disabled facilities updated. We've been in communication with Ian Dutton and Jake Melbasser, who works with Ian Dutton or did work with him. And now it seems Jake's just handling this on his own. I had an email from him yesterday in which he said that, because what we're trying to get at the moment is radar locks on all of the disabled facilities around the ground, and there's still a few that haven't got them. And they were going to be done by last weekend. So we had an email from Jake yesterday morning, very kindly explaining to us that they hadn't actually had the radar locks delivered to them yet. Delivery had been delayed, and they're going to be delayed. They're going to be delivered this week on Thursday or Friday. So what it would mean is that yesterday's game against Swansea and Tuesday's game against Hull City, that we know radar locks on some of the facilities. Jake actually told me, I'm having a little look at his email now. He said he's requested that a steward stands in front of the cop toilets by exit 8 throughout the game, and it also makes sure that a steward is in place for the whole game. Also, as the locks won't be fitted until Thursday or Friday, he said he will also ask the matchday DLO to keep checking in on this. So, and he apologises for the delay. So nice interaction from Blues there, and well done, Jake. I think it's good that they're keeping us updated like that. And I actually had a couple of messages from members yesterday, because we posted the email onto the group. They confirmed that, yes, stewards were there and they were doing everything that we'd been promised. So that's great. I had a little message on as a response to yesterday's podcast, which was telling me that I was arrogant, expecting the managing director to respond to me by email. Well, I would think it would be arrogant of the managing director not to respond, because we're customers. I represent a group of like 9,000 people. We're a big group of customers. Why wouldn't I expect the managing director to respond to us? We've had meetings with Jeremy Dale. We've interacted with him by email. Ian Dutton, if he decides not to interact with us, I'll take it as an insult. He should do. He's left now, so it's in the past. But of course, we expect managing directors to interact. It's what the job is. We're the customers, and also at the end of the day, don't forget, it's our club. Owners and managers and all those people are transient. We are there all the time. It's our club. At the end of the day, the club is ours. And someone's going to say, no, it's not. Finance and blah. I've been there for a long time. I know a lot of you have. Right? We're there through all the shit times. Okay, managers come and go. Owners come and go, and unfortunately fans come and go as well. So, of course we expect responses from the club. That's their job, to make sure that they look after us with the customers. So moving on to yesterday's game, you know, it was interesting, a very interesting team selection. You sort of went with the old 4-4-2. I was surprised, although I did say to Beck beforehand that it wouldn't surprise me to see Djukovic or Hogan starting, and sure enough, Hogan started, and I think he probably had a word with Hogan. Scott Hogan looked really fired up yesterday, and the press. It was interesting how he played the game. Really, it was like a bit of a mixture between Eustace and Rooney. He played an attacking game. They had the press on their back four, and I think this is a little bit of homework uh, done by our new manager Moggy. You know, because the new guy at Swansea likes to play and insists that they play out from the back. And I think, Tony Mowbray had looked at it and thought, we need to press them. And that press worked really well, didn't it? Hogan pressed non-stop. He was really, really good, really active. He had a great game. He set up the first goal. He was instrumental throughout a lot of the movement in the first half when we did really look like we were going to take them to pieces. But typical of Blues, like we give away the first goal, and then that little sweet little ball from Hogan to Dembele, took it in, hammered it right footed into the back of the net. I mean, absolutely great goal, and kept the game alive. I thought Buchanan had a bit of a torrid afternoon. Also, we let that big centre back Darling. So I think he used to be a centre forward or a striker. But that goal he scored. I mean, no one picked him up, and that happened several times. We need to get these players marked when you've got a big lad like that in the box, and we're not a particular big team. I thought Kevin Long had a sound game. Sanderson looked a little bit nervous at time to time, but we did play out from the back as well when we could, which looked good. So Tony Mowbray likes that movement. He likes that passing out from the back, but he doesn't insist on it. We can hit the long ball as well. Both fullbacks, Buchanan and Drama. Drama actually had quite a good game. Buchanan, but I don't think he had a bad game, but he had a bit of a torrid time with that right that right winger. In the middle of the park, Christian Bielik, big and strong like he always is. I've seen a few people, but people don't really get Bielik's game. I don't think they look at him and think he looks clumsy and that. Take that lad out of that back four, out of that holding midfield position, and we see what happens in the last three games. He struggled because he's not there, and he did really well. And even Sonic, someone put on our Facebook page this morning that even Sonic, he's got to stop fouling people. It's his game, I mean, he gets in people's faces. He's straight in there. He's challenging all the time. He's foot's in. He runs around, and he played a couple of great balls, and the one for Dembele when he was one-on-one in the second half. If you give that one-on-one chance to anyone in our team, you're going to give it to Sakiri Dembele, aren't you? But the keeper was off his line fast, and I just don't think Dembele had enough time to think about it. He didn't quite know what to do, and he hit the keeper, and it was like, my God! Yeah, and then straight away, of course, then Swansea score, and then it's back. It's like us trying to knock the wall down, isn't it? And the substitutions came, putting Duke on, giving him as a target man, and then Bakuna and JJ. I think JJ took a bit of time to settle. During the game, I was actually speaking to Becca, and I said to JJ hasn't made an awful amount of impression since he come on, and I don't think the three substitutions did at first. Took him a little bit of time. Then Bakuna was a little bit, Bakuna does that thing where he gets the ball, he doesn't release it fast enough, his transition isn't quick enough, he gets caught in possession, and he gets caught with two or three players around him, he ends up sitting on the ball or something. It slows the game down, and it's something we didn't need at the time. JJ, though, something about him, he's very, very powerful and strong, isn't he? He really is. And Duke didn't touch the ball for like the first 5 minutes that he came on, and then, but his presence, a bit like we was talking the other day about Burke, just his presence draws defenders away. And obviously that finish in the end by JJ was absolutely brilliant, and great way to end the game. Had we been 2-1 up and they'd equalised in the 95th minute, a bit like last week against Hull, almost, then we'd have gone away from the ground feeling that we'd lost. But I think we came away yesterday feeling positive. I think it was nice to see Tony Mowbray on the touchline, shouting, interacting with the players. Ashley Cole up and down as well, which I liked. Ashley Cole just looks like a much more relaxed person around Tony Mowbray than he did around Wayne Rooney. The team looked quite relaxed, and some of the footballers nice. We know what we're doing. We're going forward. Everyone looked as if they knew what their job was. They didn't always perform it to the best of their ability. I think Stansfield didn't have a great game yesterday. He was a little bit quiet. Scott Hogan did most of the front pressing, although Stansfield did press. Mayoshi had a poor game. I don't know what the answer is to that. He's not going past players easily, and when he does, he gets bogged down a little bit. I think we might see Bakuna on that right hand side. Will Jordan James come in for Christian Bielik? Possible against Hull. We've got a few players on yellows, and the 3 players that we took off yesterday, Sonic, Stansfield, and someone else, were all on yellows. So that probably was a little bit of safety first from the gaffer as well. So I don't know what you thought of the game. 21,000 people there. It was all right. The atmosphere was a little bit up and down, but I think everyone was a lot more positive yesterday. The group was really positive. We haven't had the usual Scott Hogan haters on, because they couldn't really hate on him much yesterday, because the lad put in a good shift, And people are saying, I think, did Mowbray play him so people can see him and buy him? Managers don't put players into a team to try and sell them. He played him because he wanted to play him, because he thought he would do a good job. That's what Mowbray's job is, to play the best team that we have. And yesterday, the point was important, and those points are important now, because we are at the bottom end of the table. We need to get away. It's nice to have the cup game against Hull on Tuesday. It will give him a chance to have a little look at the players again. It gives him another, and we're at home. So being at home is better than if the replay was away, because we'd lose a day's training. So it means we get an extra day with the players again. So I'm hopefully now Tony Mowbray is going to have a little bit more interaction with them. He knows John O'Shea's gone, so he's got Ashley Cole there. From what I hear, he's going to try and work just with Ashley Cole and Mark Venus. And then if he needs other people, he can bring them in. It's a shame John O'Shea's gone, but obviously it's better if he feels that he's not happy for him to leave. And like I said before, good luck to him, whatever he does. I don't think Rooney bought Ashley Cole and John O'Shea in. I mean, they were former teammates, but I think it was just all this thing about big names. I mean, they got them in because people knew who they were. But let's hope Ashley Cole works well, because Mark Venus is a really great right-hand man for the boss. He's worked with him for many, many years, and who knows, Ashley Cole may go on to work with him for a long time. But all in all, pretty good yesterday. Well, I just want to say well done, Scotty, because Scott Hogan's had an awful lot of pressure on him, and he's had a noose around his neck for ages. People have just been so shitty to him, and still are. Some people just can't stop themselves, get rid of him, and you can't get rid of Scott Hogan, right? People are saying, now's the time to sell him. We'll get a bit of money for him now because he played well yesterday. What are you talking about? He's got 6 months on his contract. He can walk in 6 months. He walks away from the club as a free agent. He can get a signing on fee from someone. He doesn't need to. We can't just move players on. People have to understand this. If Scott Hogan wants to stay and see out his contract, that's his right to do that. It may be that he plays really well and scores 10 goals for the rest of the season, and Tony Mowbray wants to give him a year extension at reduced wage or something. We don't know. but he's certainly not putting him in the team to try and sell him. And we certainly ain't going to be selling him. So the person that put in the group this morning, oh, that perhaps we'll get a few bob for him now. Then you know what? Come on, get real. Think about it. You don't have to keep guessing about these players. You do a little bit of research yourself. Have a look how long they've got left on the contracts. See what's happening. It's like that guy I was talking about the other day, the Irish lad, Cashin from Derby. We might get Derby. He's got 1 year left on his contract. We might be able to push Derby and get him at a reduced rate and stuff. That's how it works. You don't just pay and not look into it. And managers and particularly our recruitment team are going to know exactly what's what. The plans were already being placed. They'll be looking for players now, and hopefully one or two things will happen. I think we'll probably get at least one loan player, which takes us up to our limit of 5. And if we get that 5th player, then we can have all 5 in the matchday squad if we want them, and that would make more sense than bringing more than one loan in, unless we relinquish a few loans. But anyway, I'm going to stop there. I don't keep nattering on to you. It's Sunday. Have a great day. Really, really pleased with what happened yesterday. I think we were brilliant. We're Blues, aren't we? So we're going to stay behind the team, get on side with Moggy. He's great, and get down there on Tuesday. Let's give them the support. Go to Leicester, beat Leicester, probably win the cup, and I think we're probably going to get promoted as well. I know, could have done with the 3 points yesterday, but 1 point more towards promotion. And let's be positive, eh? Why not? Let's have a great weekend. Rest of what's left of it. Keep right on. Enjoy your Sunday lunch if you haven't already had it. It's 1 o'clock here. It's 12 o'clock there. So have a great day, guys. Please help us by subscribing. It's going to help us. Come and join us. Some of you have said we don't use Facebook. Just come and have a look. We're not the usual Facebook shit group. Honestly, we're not. Come and have a look. So BCFC, the project on Facebook, it's a public group. You haven't got to join or anything. Just come and visit us and become a member. It's great. You're going to enjoy it. And obviously the podcast link with it. I'm going to let you go. All right. Thanks so much. See you soon. Have a great day. Keep right on.